cost of living in Charlotte is something that everyone gets wrong. I live here and I can show you what it really costs so you don't make a mistake. So stick around as I share the real cost of living here in Charlotte, North Carolina. What if I told you that it's more affordable than many other cities like New York, San Diego, Atlanta, and Miami? But what does affordable really mean in terms of actual numbers? Let's break down the costs from homes to healthcare and see if Charlotte fits in your budget. Starting with housing. How much does it really cost to live comfortably in Charlotte? Can you afford to buy or rent in Charlotte with its current market trends? The median home price in Charlotte is about $430K, which when you compare this to other popular US metros like New York, Atlanta, San Diego, and Miami, Charlotte is very affordable, which means you get more for what you're gonna pay. For renters, a studio apartment averages just under $1,500 a month, which is a pretty good price compared to similar apartments in cities like San Diego and Atlanta, which cost a lot more. Now, if you need 2 bedrooms, it'll cost you about $1,800 here, which is still cheaper than many other big cities. And for larger families or anyone that just needs a little bit extra space, a 3-bedroom apartment or house can range anywhere between $2,200 up to $3,000 a month. That gives you a ton of different options to choose from here, unlike more expensive places that have fewer choices like Miami or New York. And now that we have a roof over your head, what about ongoing costs? What about utilities? Could the monthly utility bill in Charlotte surprise you? Residents typically pay about $193 a month for utilities, including internet, heating, and electricity. And the breakdown includes $150 for gas and power, with water costs averaging about $72 a month, and internet, which is essential for today's digital lifestyle, is going to run you about $65 a month for a high-speed connection. With more comprehensive services like gas and power, you might even expect to pay up to $260 a month. Now, if you're curious about how this stacks up against other cities, you'll see comparisons on your screen with cities like New York, Miami, San Diego, and Atlanta to give you a better sense of how much you might save from moving here. Now, moving from utilities to groceries, how much does it cost to fill your face and fill your pantry in Charlotte? Will dining in or eating out in Charlotte drain your wallet? For those who prefer cooking at home, the grocery prices offer a mix of affordability and plenty of premium options that you have accessibility to. Expect to pay about $3 to $4 for a loaf of bread, about $4 to $5 for a pound of ground beef, and the average monthly grocery bill per person is about $340. But personally, for all my Aldi and Costco people, I spend probably closer to $240 a month, which gives a good indication of the overall food expenses that you might encounter. Now look how this cost compares to other popular US metros like New York right now. But what if you want to eat out? A typical meal at an affordable restaurant costs about $20, and a 3-course meal at a mid-range or more upscale restaurant is going to run you about $80. Even at one of the most popular steakhouses in the region, I've never spent over $100 a plate and never looked at the right side of the menu once. Now, as we compare these dining costs with other major cities, you can see on the screen it's a very impressive savings that you might make from moving here. Now, with food covered, what about healthcare? It's time to check in with healthcare. Is staying healthy in Charlotte a costly affair? Healthcare in Charlotte is above the national average by about 13%, and a typical doctor's visit could cost you around $140. This is because we have tons of healthcare options here, and it's a huge hub for healthcare, so you get more options, but you also pay a little bit more. Now, this can add up, especially if you're managing chronic conditions or require frequent medical attention. And the side-by-side comparison on the screen shows how healthcare costs between Charlotte and other major cities add up. Now, this figure is going to give you just a baseline because actual expenses will vary on your specific healthcare needs and your specific insurance coverage. Speaking of coverage, now that we've covered health, how does getting around Charlotte stack up cost-wise? Let's take a ride through transportation expenses. What does it cost to commute or travel around Charlotte? Transportation in Charlotte can vary depending on your mode of transportation. With a high rate of car ownership, last year gas prices averaged about $3.40 a gallon, and we can compare this to cities like New York and San Diego, giving you an idea of just how affordable Charlotte may be for you. For those who rely on public transportation, a single transport ticket is going to cost you about $2.25, and a Charlotte area transportation, or as we call it CATS, monthly pass can be a part of your budget for just $88. Now, comparing this with major cities, Charlotte offers great value. But beyond the basics, how much does enjoying life in Charlotte cost? Let's explore recreation costs next. Can you enjoy the vibrant nightlife and outdoor activities in Charlotte without breaking the bank? A gym membership here is going to run you about $35 a month, which gives you a ton of different gym options. And when you compare the gym membership costs to other major cities, that's pretty affordable. Same with movie tickets. For those that enjoy the cinema, expect to pay about $15 for a movie ticket here in Charlotte, which is affordable compared to New York and other major cities. The city also offers a ton of outdoor activities and nightlife options, which are accessible, give you a ton of quality of life without breaking the bank. For outdoor activities, personally, I think an annual pass to the U.S. National Whitewater Center is a necessity, and depending on when you buy it, it'll be between $40 and $60 per year. And if you're looking to get tickets to local nightclubs or music venues, expect to spend between $25 to $100 per person, depending on the night and who you're going to see. Now that you've seen what it costs to enjoy the city, let's talk about taxes. Living in Charlotte means navigating the North Carolina tax system. Sales tax here is 7.25%, and while the state income tax used to be 4.99%, it's changing, and there's something you need to know. North Carolina is one of the few states that's actually lowering our taxes, with plans to get it down to 3.99% in 2027. The income tax is already down to 4.5% for 2024 and is going to lower again to 4.25% in 2025. Property taxes vary depending on whether you're in the city limits or in the county, but most homes will see a total property tax rate between 0.6% to 1.3%, and on a very typical $400,000 home, that would work out to somewhere between $200 to $400 a month. But there's actually another tax that in North Carolina, you don't have to worry about it. You might not even think about it. We don't have an inheritance tax. So if you're considering estate planning as part of your move, that may be something to consider. Now, understanding these tax layers are crucial for anyone considering a move to Charlotte or just planning their budget. And with what you've learned about taxes in Charlotte, how does this change the way you think about where you want to live and how to manage your money? So now that we've navigated through housing, utility, food, healthcare, transportation, and leisure in Charlotte, North Carolina, I hope you can better gauge whether Charlotte is the right place for your lifestyle and budget. So do you think Charlotte could be your next home? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and if you found this video helpful and you want to learn about all the pros and cons that Charlotte has to offer, then you're going to want to check out this video here. I'm Lucas Roller for the Living in Charlotte team, and until next time, as always, hope to show you around town.